All right. Good day, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for the information session to learn about the Learning Design and Leadership Master's or EdM program and our graduate certificate programs. Thanks to everybody who is filling out the poll while we are going ahead and getting started. Just to give everybody a heads up, you've been muted as you've entered and your camera has been turned off. Feel free to turn your camera on, but we ask that you stay muted during the session until we get to the Q&A portion. We should have plenty of time at the end of the presentation for folks to be able to ask all sorts of questions, and we'll be able to get those answered this evening. I see some folks have already done it. Feel free to say a little bit about yourself, where you're from in the chat. I see folks are still joining in, so you have not missed anything yet. And this session is being recorded and will be sent out to everybody about 12 hours after the session ends. So you will get a recording in case you miss anything. While we're still getting started here, feel free to type in the chat, let us know what you're interested in learning about tonight. If you have any initial questions that you already know you want to get answered, and what's your interest in learning design and leadership. Thanks again to everybody who has answered the poll that we have going so far. Really appreciate that input. Just in case you've forgotten, and to let everybody know, for the session this evening, we'll be covering and focused on the Learning Design and Leadership program. We have two faculty from the program here with us this evening. We have Dr. Clancis and Dr. Cope, and we also have the LDL program advisor, Dr. Francis, with us. We also have the head of online programs here this evening, Sangeetha Kapala-Krishnan, and we have our online student advisor, Brianna Davis, and we have online staff member, Gina Poff, here also. So if they're typing in the chat and those folks are giving you some answers, they are the right people to be answering your questions in the chat. And some of us will be speaking throughout the presentation tonight. So with that, we will go ahead and get started in the main part of things. And first up, I have Dr. Cope or Bill. You want to share a bit about the LDL team?
Okay, so welcome everybody. Great to see you all. My name is Bill Cope. I'm the coordinator of the program. The program's actually been around for a long time, and actually we can make a big, bold claim that the predecessor of this program, which was called Curriculum, Teaching and Education Reform, began in 1998, which means that it could have been, we think it was, the world's first fully online graduate program. So we've been around for a long time. I've been involved in it since about 2006. You might be able to tell from my accent that I'm a Central Illinois native from way back. No, not really. Mary and I were originally from Australia. And the area that we're working now, we've worked a lot in the area of literacy in the past, but now we're mostly interested in this question of technology-mediated learning. I might get Mary to say a few words about herself as well. But I should mention also that the other people who work in the program, Cara Francis does an amazing job of keeping the show on the road, and we also have two teaching assistants who are an incredibly important part of what we do as well. So anyhow, I'll hand over to Mary for a quick intro from her.
Thank you, Bill. Well, I suppose you can guess just by this introduction that we're a team at LDL. In fact, teams operating in the college. That's how we get the high-ranking online programs that we have. We work collaboratively and we work very closely with all our students. In our particular program, though, as a consequence of us being researchers and interested in research, the minute you join our program, and thank you so much for your interest in it, you become part of a research agenda, because we are testing both the platform and the delivery of what we do, as well as working with you to see the range of affordances that a digital offers for education reform, for access and equity, for achieving goals from administration through to supporting students. So we attract a wide range of people from different backgrounds who want to make a difference in the context around issues of design, of transformative design of learners from children to adults.
Okay, and I just saw the comment there from Delicia at Stellenbosch. So yes, we've got some very good colleagues. We've worked with very closely in South Africa over a number of years, so welcome. It's great to have you interested in the program, and I see there Abby's put in a comment as well. So museum education, that's an area that we have some people in our program who work in that area, and we actually have a journal and a conference we run in that whole area of museum education as well. So the interesting thing, as Mary just said, is we get a very, very diverse group of people. We get people in higher ed, we get people who are working in instructional design, in video, educational video, look, you name it. And one of the strengths of our program is just the variety of the participants, and they gain a lot from the interaction. So listen, I'm going to hand back to Travis now, who can, this is you, Travis, or this is me? Travis is running the show, so over to you,
This
Travis.
one's still you.
Oh, still you.
This one, yep, still you, and then a little bit on courses. I'll let you know when we're taking it back.
Okay, great. So look, these are just some of the themes. I think we've mentioned informally what they are. It's about teaching and learning, it's about learner diversity, and it's about pedagogy. So although technology is a very big part of the changes that are happening in the world of education at the moment, for us, it's pedagogy first. Technology is a means to an end only. So yes, that's our kind of philosophy.
But I think as I think it was you, Delicia, mentioned multimodality is an important part of what we engage with in terms of teaching, but also how we deliver the program to you. It is multimodal in form, and we expect you also to work and experience what it is to make meaning in multimodal forms and to engage those populations that you want to transform.
And look, later on, we'll take you into a class. So our idea is to, we can do PowerPoints like this, but also we'll show you into a class and show you the kinds of ways in which our participants interact. So, okay. Right, this is about the courses. So we use a platform called CG Scholar, which I'll show you into. The flipped classroom model is we don't get onto Zoom and lecture anybody. We have videos that people can watch in their own time. And we have optional synchronous sessions on Monday evenings. So if you're in an uncomfortable time zone, the session is recorded. So it's not essential that you're there. And insofar as we want everybody to make an oral presentation to the group, if they're unable to do that synchronously, they can record that. And that is a link to the some information about the program. So yeah, that's so yeah, 8-week terms during fall and spring, 6-week terms in summer. And by the way, folks, look, put questions in the chat if there are questions you'd like to ask along the way, things where you'd like a little bit of clarification. We can respond to those.
So in the flipped classroom model, of course, all the information is delivered to you, the content, the activities, the readings, and then we have the synchronous sessions on Monday evenings from 5:30 to 8:30, different sessions where you engage. As Bill said, we don't lecture you, you present your work, you talk to each other, and we talk about the ideas of that week's inputs through the flipped classroom. Also, we provide a lot of support through Cara. Cara provides individual support to all students, and I also provide one-on-one advising on Tuesdays as well as Mondays.
But also, by the way, it's not a 3-hour session. We have 3 1-hour sessions. So there's nothing worse than being stuck on Zoom for hours on end. And we make them very, we get people to give things that we call lightning talks, 2 to 3 minute talks, not half-hour talks. Yes, it's not hugely burdensome those sessions. Okay, let's move on to the next slide then. These then are the courses that we offer. Now, of course, you can take any other courses offered by other concentrations. We actually have diversity and equity concentration, a human resource development concentration, a global studies concentration. So these are just the courses that we offer as the LDL faculty. And we're excited to say that we've got a new course in development at the moment on this rather controversial issue of machine learning, the whole artificial intelligence stuff, and human learning, which is going to be comparing the differences between the two and how the one can complement the other. So, but they're the courses that we offer, but we really very much encourage people to take other courses in the other concentrations as well. So we have a number of core courses, and then we have optional elective courses as well.
I mean, that way you get to experience different faculty and different designs and delivery methods and different platforms of working in a digital environment. So we do sincerely encourage you to try and discover what the other courses are that might interest you and complement your own passion and.
Okay. Then this is a typical plan of study. So we have some core courses that we want people to do. And then we have elective courses. That's for the EdM. I don't know if we have a slide about the EDD. Is it just the EdM that we have information on here?
Just the EdM.
Okay, right. So there are actually 3 levels of program. There's a certificate program, which is just 3 courses. There is an EdM, which is 8 courses, and these are the requirements. So in other words, very open in terms of the choices that you might make. We also have an EDD program, which is 16 courses as well. And they're shared courses. The courses for the certificate, the masters, and the EDD are all, they're the same courses, essentially. It's just how much you do. So, yeah.
You do have a chance, though, to design the program that you want and that meets your needs. And that's really an important part of the range of offerings that are.
Yes, and look, yes, the transcript does not say online. So in a way, in terms of the quality and the nature of what we do, we have on-campus students doing these courses as well. So there is not a distinction for us. They're the same courses as would be offered to the on-campus students, and it's just a degree from the University of Illinois.
As Travis mentioned earlier, or maybe Sagitha might mention, the online courses that are delivered from our college are very highly ranked and very highly sought after and very impactful in the field in terms of career progression. So the online thing is something we're proud of because we've made it comparable to what you'd experience in a face-to-face teaching, except enhanced by different modalities of making meaning.
Yes, and I think actually, let me go back to that on flexibility. I think it's only 3 courses. Cara, just correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's only 3 courses. And look, Dawn, if you want to ask questions about the EDD now, you're welcome as well. So we can answer questions about that. Although this session is mainly oriented to potential master's students. Yeah. Okay.
And certificate, those who are interested in the certificate and the master's degree.
So look, the only real difference with the EDD is more courses, and 6 of the courses are around the what we call the exam dissertation sequence. So, so you do 10 of the courses that are listed there. There's another 6 courses for the dissertation as well. Okay, so let's move on now. This is a look into an LDL course. So what I'm going to do is, if I can share my screen, thanks. Do you want to? Yeah, I'm going to continue, and I want to share that one. And folks, I hope everybody can see this. So I've just landed in a course which we now. There are 8-week courses. I think we're week 5 now in this particular course. And you can see what we have is something that looks like a social media feed. When I dig a bit deeper down, it's kind of the overall overarching architecture is a social media kind of architecture, but deep down it operates in quite different ways. So we have community admins. So you can see there, these are the people who are teaching in the course. We have a number of teaching assistants and people who are collaborators with us in the whole process. And then we have members of the community. So this particular group there are 40 people in the group, and this particular has the inspiring title of EPOL 534, which really is, of course, about assessment, which is equally inspiring. But in fact, it's remarkably interesting, the question of assessment. Which often is the tail that wags the educational dog, so to speak. So as I go down this page, I have a continuous, an infinite scroll of things that are happening in this class. And the kinds of things that are happening might include, I'm just going to take one of these links now. It might include what Mary just said, which is the flipped classroom kind of model. It's something we call an admin update. So one of the admins, in this case, has posted 3 short videos that Mary and I have made. So look, see, this one's 9 minutes long. We make a point of not killing people with long lecture videos. So we break them up into little pieces. And then we've got a reading there, a PDF reading where Mary and I have written an article. We've got a link to another article of ours. So this is, if you like, our academic input for you folks. And what we then do is we ask everybody to write a comment. And the great thing is, you can see people are writing really, really thoughtful comments here. So in a normal lecture in a physical classroom, you know, one person might be able to ask a short question at the end. It's a very passive kind of environment. So what we try to build here is a very active environment. And you can see people are talking to each other in a very, very thoughtful way. And this is just one that was posted about a week ago. And it's a way of us knowing. Look, someone's even put some references in. It's a way of us knowing that you're really engaging. You know, some learning management system have meters which check whether you've been watching the video. Well, we don't do that. We know that you've been engaging by the really sensible and profound comments that people make in the discussion afterwards. Now,
but can I add, Bill, that this is about building community as well? So for the weeks that you are in the program, relating to each other, providing feedback, comments, it's about establishing a rapport and engagement among the students, not only the professor professing to the students, but the students engaging with each other. It's a very important part of our pedagogical approach in this program.
And let me say as well that there's nothing that the participants do which is not social. This is a very social space, a very collaborative space. So every post you make, other people see, they comment on it, and we also have a peer-reviewed project as well, which means that you're actually giving each other feedback systematically on your work. So let me just move that window out of the way. So the other thing that happens in here is we get you to be involved as co-designers of the course. So this is just an example that I pulled up now, where people make regular updates as well. And you know, here someone's put in a video about socio-emotional learning. So and formative assessment of that, a really difficult, critical issue. And they put in some references at the bottom. And these are references which, in fact, when I look at it, I haven't read these references. So in other words, people are contributing as co-designers to the course, if you like. And then they're discussing each other's posts. So in other words, the content of the course is partly generated by Mary and me as the designers of the course, but equally it's generated by the participants. And we learn an amazing amount from this. So, you folks are knowledgeable, you're out there in the world, and you bring understandings to the course, which we really value as well. Now, One last thing I'm going to do is mention that we then data mine this huge amount of activity. We have an analytics area here, and this is a part of our own research, to be quite frank, which is how learning analytics and artificial intelligence can be part of a next generation of learning environments. So this is me seeing the whole class, but in fact, everybody in the group has one of these Aster plots. And this is a little tracking thing about all the work you've done on 3 measures. One is knowledge, stuff that you've learned. So for example, here's your peer-reviewed ratings here. And each of these things, by the way, you can actually click on it and get a measure of exactly how you're being measured. So we're measuring 20-something different things. And in fact, in the course, you start off here with 0. We say, look, if you get a certain score, it's a B+. If you get a certain score, it's an A-. So we actually say, look, your grade is, it's in your own hands, so to speak. So this is us.
Yes.
Go on.
I was going to say, it's assessment as you go. You don't have to wait to the end to know how you're performing. You get it within a day or so of the performance of any activity. And as you'll note, there are 3 parts. One is knowledge. All courses are about knowledge, but because we're in an online environment, the focus and engagement matters to us, and we want to measure that and ensure that it's happening. But the third part, which is equally important to us as the other 2, is what we call help. The degree to which you provide feedback and help each other get the score that you want to get the grade that you want to do. Collaborative learning is core to our pedagogy, core to what we teach about, but we've tried to design a digital platform that kind of realizes how that might happen. And you'll be part of that if you do join this course. And I know the students really, they love this part more than anything because they can see how they're progressing, and they value the ability to be able to engage with each other through feedback. And feedback doesn't happen automatically. You learn to get better at it as you get scored on how well you do it by each other. So it's one of the innovatory parts of what we offer you during this program.
And just to fill you in, I mean, we had an NSF grant where we built this particular part of the Scholar is a series of software modules. We built this module, and we're at the moment building a really exciting module which will include both human reviews and AI reviews. So we're actually, hopefully it'll be launched in our classes next week, where we're pulling out of ChatGPT. We're leveraging, not using it raw. We're pulling out of it an AI review to go beside the human reviews. And this is all part of our research agenda to build an understanding of where education is going. Now, in this particular course, by the way, by the end of the course, this is a course that finished just recently. No, it's a 22 course, but there were nearly 7,500 pieces of actionable feedback in this environment, and 1.9, or nearly 2 million data points. This was with 30 or 40 students. So this is big data, it's artificial intelligence. These things are what we're interested in as our own research agenda. Now, one last thing I'm going to mention is also everybody ends up with a portfolio page. This is just Casey happened to be at the top of the list. He's one of our PhD students, actually. What happens is this is all the posts they've made. They end up with a portfolio of all their work as well. And this is an example of a student page here. So let me go over now to, and by the way, this is all his publications. This is stuff.
Bill, can I just say that this portfolio is terribly important when you graduate and you want to get a promotion or move up to another job, that you have demonstrated artifacts that you can share with an employer or any other kind of agency that you're interested in. So these accumulate as you go along, and there's something we offer you that remains in this framework.
And this is something where it lasts forever. You can take it away with you. Okay, last thing I want to mention just briefly is we also have a website. So I don't know whether someone might put this link into the chat. I don't know whether people might have the chat already. So we don't do PDF syllabuses because they're they're a nightmare. So we built a website here, and Cara and the other TAs do an incredible job of maintaining this, which has all the information you want to know about the courses, the syllabuses. So this is actually for our students. It's not really an advertising syllabus, but I'm sorry, an advertising website. It's a syllabus website and a program website. So if you want to know a lot more detail about the program and see how it works, go to that website. And this is the beautiful magnolia tree outside the College of Education. It's online, it's spring all year round, whereas in reality it's looking pretty grey at the moment. So all right then, so that's my main introductions and information. So I might hand back to you then, Travis. I will
Bill,
stop.
before you do that, I think we've done this very quickly, but what Bill has just showed you and what we've said is we provide extraordinary support for you as a student entering this space, as do the other members of the team who are of our college team who are here. You're not alone. You don't have to struggle on your own trying to figure out either platforms or technology or content. There's, as I said, a team of folks at the college level, department level, and in our program who are there to support you to succeed.
Okay.
I believe this is my my section. So hello everybody, my name is Sangeeta Gopalakrishnan and I head online programs here at the College of Education. Welcome to all of you. I was pleased to hear that some of you mentioned in the chat that you're interested in the graduate certificates, and I'm going to give you some general information, and then for program specific information, I'm sure you'll get good information from the program faculty here. So if you are not a current student, if you're not enrolled in a degree program at the University of Illinois, you can do this graduate certificate, which has the abbreviation CERT. So what it is a graduate level certificate, so which means that you should have completed a bachelor's degree. A CERT is transcriptable, and what that means is it will not only the courses but also the name of the CERT will show up on your transcript, and you will earn graduate credit, which you can apply towards a degree program if upon getting admission to the degree program, of course. With the CERT, you will be eligible for financial aid, meaning that you'll have to apply. And your application will be considered by the office that is responsible for financial aid. And as I said earlier, this option is available only if you are not currently enrolled in a degree program at the University of Illinois. But there is, if you are currently enrolled in a degree program, we have another option for you, don't worry. So next slide, please, Travis. Oh, was there one just on the COS? Anyway, I'll talk about the other option while we're finding the slide. So the other option is called the Certificate of Specialization, and that is, thank you, Travis. So this option is a non-transcriptable option, meaning that the name of the certificate will not appear on the transcript. It is a certificate that is issued by the college, and you will get a digital certificate from our college. But similar to the other option, you will earn graduate credits, and these graduate credits can be applied towards a degree program. So in that regard, it's the same. So the Learning Design and Leadership program has a certificate of specialization, which entails 12 credits. So that's an option for you. And we'll skip this and come back to this if there are some questions. Am I doing this too, Travis? You're muted.
I can briefly talk about this, and anybody else can jump in for things. So this slide here is just some employment in job titles that some of our alumni from various LDL programs have shared with us that they have. Bill, Mary, or Kara, didn't know if you had anything else that you wanted to touch on specifically with this.
No, look, these are the specialized things, but also often people, you know, just want to get their head around what the possibilities are for technology-mediated learning. And it's just a career, it might be just a career thing. It might be that you want to be the head of a department. You might want to be, you know, involved in, you know, so in other words, it's just an additional qualification which adds to what you might already know in education. And I've got to say the ed tech stuff is, to put it crudely, kind of bankable at the moment. It's one of the areas where there's a huge amount of demand for people who are well trained and well skilled in these areas. So these are specialist jobs that Travis has put up here, but there's no job in education, either administratively or in terms of teaching and learning, where these skills are not a valuable thing to have on your credentials.
And also because the twin goals at the moment in any educational setting is technology and diversity. How do you attract, maintain, respond to the diversity of needs of different learners, and how can technology assist in that process? We think it's already done, but it isn't. You know, we were thrown into the deep end of the digital during the COVID period, everybody, but there's a lot for us to learn, and people come to this program in order to address how they can harness what works and what doesn't work and explore the possibilities for improving access and performance across a range of different domains.
Thank you both for adding that. And so it's been mentioned a couple times throughout the presentation about all of the various supports that are available to online students. There's a pretty comprehensive list here. So in addition to all of the great support directly from the LDL team, our online programs still have access to university-wide supports here at the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana, and then you also have access to support from the online programs team. There are career services both offered through the graduate college, and then students can also meet with me one-on-one to talk about career strategy or have questions. You know, oftentimes folks will have me take a look at their LinkedIn page if they have one, and maybe give some input like that, or connect them with somebody else, in addition to the great resources that already exist from the department and from Bill and Mary directly here also. And then we also have our wonderful online student advisor, Brianna Davis, who also is there to help support students also. Is there anything else anybody wanted to add to this slide? Otherwise, I'm going to turn things over to Brianna for a couple slides.
Well, I was just going to say, Travis, it's really important that you've mentioned all those people, because life is hard for many of our students at any level. And there's often times when you need different kind of support, kind of technical, personal, or whatever, but be assured we have a range of ways in which we enable you to achieve your goals.
Brianna.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Brianna Davis. I am the online student advisor. So I kind of just help to provide additional support to our online students. I want to cover just a couple of logistical things, beginning with our admissions process. Admissions for our CERT and degree programs are going to be handled through the graduate college application. So our master's program and our CERT will follow the same protocols as admission to our other graduate programs. So first, our program will make an admission decision, and then the graduate college will approve that decision. process your admission. So you'll receive official notification from not only our program leaders, but you'll also receive an admission notification from the graduate college as well. Degree-seeking students fill out our online application through the graduate college. So if you are interested in one of our degree programs or our CERT program, you'll work through that application process. If you have interest in pursuing one of our certificates of specialization that Sangeeta was talking about earlier, you will be considered a non-degree student. So you will actually apply through our Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning. So if you're a little bit confused about that process, or if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to the Office of Online Programs and we can provide additional details about that. We currently operate on a rolling admission basis. So we offer start dates for our programs frequently. We currently offer 6 different start dates. If you are wanting to begin the program soon, our next admission start date will be our summer A term, which will begin in May. So if you want to get started as quickly as possible, that deadline is going to be April 15th. If you're wanting to begin in the fall, we have a July 15th deadline to begin in August. And then as you'll see here, we have our other deadlines as well. So we, again, we operate on a rolling admission basis. If you miss one of these deadlines, the good news is that you're not that far away from another deadline. So let us know if you have questions about this. But again, we are admitting students for our summer term, and that application is due on April 15th. And then just really quickly, some information about tuition and student financial aid. The cost for our program is going to be $500 per credit hour. There are no on-campus fees that are included as a part of that, since this is a program that is built to be completed remotely. So for our online students, we have a $500 per credit hour charge. For student status, as we previously mentioned, financial aid is available for students who are in one of our degree programs or our CERT program. So if you need to be considered full-time for financial aid purposes, you'll need to be enrolled in 6 credit hours per semester. Just for your reference, our courses are going to be 4 credit hour courses. So that essentially means that if you're seeking financial aid, you will need to take a minimum of 2 courses per semester. If you need to secure full-time status for any other purpose, that's going to require 12 credit hours per semester. So if you're needing to seek full-time status for any other purpose, that's going to be categorized as 12 credit hours per semester. If you have financial aid questions or you're seeking financial aid, please reach out to the Office of Student Financial Aid. Generally speaking, if you're hoping to secure financial aid, you'll need to begin by completing the FAFSA. When you do so, you'll want to include the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign on your list of preferred schools, so that way we get your information. But again, any questions that you have beyond that, please contact the financial aid office directly.
And then with that, we have Sangeeta to
Yeah,
talk
so I
a
wanted
little bit
to
about
kind of
where-
bring up the rear here and give you some final thoughts to think about. So if you've heard a lot of good information from Bill and Mary. So if you're still wondering why choose education at Illinois, I wanted to give you some things to think about. So we are a top tier research university. We've been ranked number 3 by US News and World Reports for our online Masters in Education programs for the 3rd consecutive year. So 3 years in a row, we've been at number 3. And our rankings have to do with the quality of education here and our affordability. And being a top tier research university, we have world-class faculty, including folks like Bill and Mary here. So you will learn from world-class faculty here. At the University of Illinois, here in the College of Education, online student engagement is a focus. So we care about how our students experience their learning. We try our best to create an engaged environment, where students feel engaged. And you will learn with peers that really have diverse and rich backgrounds. So your peers are often from different parts of the world, different parts of the United States. Many of them are working full-time or have been in the workforce for a while. So they have very rich backgrounds, and so you will learn, you will benefit from their experiences as well. And again, being a top-tier research university, we have fantastic resources for our students, and these are available for our online students, such as our library. So it's really a well-rounded, you'll have a well-rounded experience if you choose to study here. And then we can move on. So if you are interested in knowing more about our ranking, we have a story on it, and you can you'll get the link later on along with the recording, and you can read more about our ranking. So with that, I hope you will choose to study at the University of Illinois and here at the College of Education. So we're going to kind of open it up for questions now, but right there is the link for you to apply.
Thank you, Sangeetha. Yeah, so now we are to the Q&A portion. Feel free to type any questions in the chat. You can raise your hand. You could unmute yourself and ask if you can ask a question, as long as somebody else isn't talking. I think we can handle that. If you think of any questions afterwards, after the presentation, you're watching this back later, you can see their online programs at education.illinois.edu. You can email us there, and our online programs team will get that email, and we'll either be able to answer it directly, or we can route it to the folks in LDL also, if it's more for them. Yes, go ahead.
Is that for Aretha?
Yes, Aretha.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
sorry. Yeah.
I'm sure you were speaking to me. So I do have a question. You mentioned that for the certification, as well as if you were going for a actual graduate degree, it's the same entity that we would apply to. So is it also the same criteria for both? The admissions and application criteria the same for both, whether you're doing it for CERT or basically non-graduate degree?
Okay, Travis, if you want to take a shot,
Sure.
or
So it's
Brianna was getting ready to answer, but either of you is fine.
Yeah, and Brianna, feel free to correct me, but I think I can. So it's the same materials that you submit for both, but the criteria is slightly different. The decision is still made by faculty in the department, and it's still through the graduate college.
Yeah, so even though there's a different application process for students pursuing the certificate of specialization, it's still considered to be a graduate level certificate of specialization. So you do have to have a bachelor's degree in order to pursue that program.
Does that also include if you already have a graduate degree? Same thing?
Yes, if you already have a graduate degree, you're obviously welcome to come and take graduate level courses with us. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great question.
Sorry, Travis, before you pick up the next one, I think Aretha asked a good question, which I wanted to highlight earlier too. These certificates also make an excellent additional credential. So even if you have a master's or even a PhD, if you want additional credentials in a topic, in a new topic, these are good options for you to think about.
So I saw a question that was entered in the chat here, so I'm just gonna read it off for them this is for Bill and Mary. Do any of the courses specifically explore CG Scholar and its conceptualization, or how to think differently about analytics for better learning? Bill, you're muted.
Bill,
Yes, they all kind of do, in the sense that it's the medium is the message, if you like. So, you know, and we do ask people about that all the time. And also the other thing is that for us, this is a research site. So the platform itself is developing all the time. It's evolving all the time. We've got new features that we're adding all the time. So in other words, what we do is we ask everybody when they join our course to sign up an IRB thing to say, look, are you happy to be also a research participant as we're developing this innovative environment experimentally? So yes, it's kind of a background thing, but also it's kind of explicit as well insofar as we're constantly testing the Scholar environment and trying to think forward, think further forward about the way things go. Now, frankly, I'll just, before Mary jumps in, the main learning management systems all have analytics in them. And frankly, they're worse than terrible because it's the way in which the learning management system is architected. You know, I'm not sure the extent to which, I mean, other courses in our college use Canvas. The analytics in Canvas are very poor and very limited. I don't know the extent to which people use them. So we're very interested in the question of what these analytics could be. And as I say, our latest iteration, we're actually got AI tools that are built into what we're doing as well, which will be part of our analytics. So yes, Delicia, we're interested in those questions as researchers, and the research we do is very much kind of hands-on, and you people generally who are the course participants, if you become that, are part of our research process. And Mary was going to say something.
I was just going to say, we have in our courses, we talk about the affordances of the digital broadly, and it's kind of a checklist for testing any platform. So we're always asking you as students to look at the tools you've used and say, well, how do they align with the affordances? You know, what are your goals, and are those platforms able to deliver? So that becomes part of the content of what we discuss and analyze. But also in the assessment courses, we look deliberately, because as Bill said, assessment unfortunately influences curriculum. And unless we can modify assessment, make it formative, make it assess as you go, we say, well, what are the tools that would make that credible? So, you know, we model those tools, and we're constantly changing those tools as well as we learn from you what works in your context and what you want to gain in the future. So you're part of a very robust moving agenda, because we want to stay ahead of what education means, what you need in it, whether you're in kindergarten or in the university. How disruptive is the digital, and what does it mean for us, and how do we make it work for our values, which are about collaboration, about engagement, about the humanness of learning. So yes, you become, as Bill said, part of a rich environment where the means of making the program and talking about those means is integrated.
Yeah, Cara's got some good points there about the online on campus. So yes, that's the answer to that. So in fact, our courses have both online and on-campus students. The on-campus students mostly take them online, although we as a teaching group do it from a classroom, and sometimes the on-campus students come and join us in person as well. So, but
try to be together as TAs and instructors physically in a room when we were engaging in our classes. And as Bill said, we encourage anyone who's either on campus or is willing to come to join our classes. And we have a whole bunch of visiting scholars who join us as well.
While folks are thinking of more questions, I'm going to do our last poll to just give us quick feedback on how the session went this evening. Before anybody has to take off, but we still have time for questions. Feel free to type those or ask those in.
We want to thank Travis and Zangeetha, and who else have I got there? Brianna, Cara, and I think Jenna was there too. Thank you all so much for being part of our team. We really appreciate what you guys offer, and you're the backbone, really.
Thank you for the kind words, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Brianna, she's a graduate from our program. Yes.
Can't go away. So, hanging in there still. And of course,
Yes,
Kara's
I can attest to how great this program is. I did the master's program. I graduated about a year ago from the program, and I absolutely loved it. So if you're considering the master's program, I can give my personal testimony firsthand.
And
Okay.
Kara,
Thank you,
she
Kara's
was
one about,
one of the first graduates in the EDD.
yeah.
So there she is. And she's still with us. And you know what, it's wonderful having Brianna and Kara because they know what the college offers from the inside. And they're very attentive to what the students who come into the program, much more attentive than the instructors are. I have to say, that's the truth, because they know it from both sides now, as the song
They're
says.
more helpful than Mary and I ever could be. And we have to go to them every now and then to get things explained to us, to be quite
Yes.
frank. So, yeah.
It's a collaborative effort. I always say.
Yes, truly, truly so.
Well, thank you all for all of the great questions this evening. Thank you to all of our presenters for sharing great information about the program. Just kind of doing another call here for questions. No need to keep everybody if you have something else that you need to run off to, but we also want to make sure that everybody has a chance to get their questions answered. I know I'd mentioned it before and it was on the slide that I had up earlier. If you think of anything afterwards, you can email us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu, and we're happy to get those questions answered.
Okay, very good.
Bye, everybody. See
Thank
there.
you. all. Have a great
Take care,
evening.
everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye. Bye-bye.